Hello there, friends. Ken here, and welcome to a brand new series. It's a new day. Got a new game. Well, an old game, in fact. To start off 2016, I thought I'd revisit something from a few years back. It's Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition. Now, Dark Souls 3 is coming out this year, so I thought, why not return to not where it all began, but where the dark edition of FromSoftware's games began. So, I'm going to kick off a brand new game. I'm going to create a character and get to work on that. Well, in fact, we'll start off by looking at these, and I'll talk a little bit about what I want to do. I've played through this game before, in the kind of interest of clarity. I've played it quite a few times. I'm fairly familiar with it. At this point, top heavy, tiny head. We want to go big and strong. Good, just an average build. Just go stick to an average build. I've never really done an average build. That'd be a nice change, really. But yes, I've played through this game several times. I've gotten all the achievements and such, but I'm not going to run through and just blitz past everything as though I've done it 100 times before. I'm going to attempt to kind of the way I would describe it as fresh eyes. I'm going to approach the game with fresh eyes. So we're going to go in and kind of play it as almost as though we were playing for the first time. I'm not going to run through and say, "Oh, I can't believe there was a man around that corner," because obviously I know there's a man around that corner, but I won't make any bones about that. But the pigtails, of course. The bun, kind of fun. The braided hair. Braided hair's quite nice, actually. I haven't really used that one before. What colour should we go with? Plenty of options here. So yes, I'm a big fan of this game. It's very relaxing. Very pleasant. Look at this lovely red. I do like that. Stopped for that one. And we want to hop into the customized face, maybe? Do we want to create a similar face? And we can notch this. And this is basically a random generator. And the further we go along to the right, the more it's going to change the face. Do you see this just changes it? Just a little bit. Until we find something that this is like, oh, we're kind of happy with where it's at, but could be quite different. I quite like this. This is as a character creation tool, actually. This particular feature. We can mix it up a bit more if it's a bit too. This will start to create some weird stuff if you get into it too much. So maybe we'll initialize it for now, and I'll roll through some similar ones again and see if we find something we like the look of. They're all okay, really. I don't want to mess around with it too much, but we'll try and find something that looks good. No, I'm still not really feeling that. I feel like we were closer before, and then maybe kind of stepped away from it too much. No, you know what? I'm going to do one more initialize, but I'm going to keep it fairly similar this time. There we are. I like that. I realise it's not actually that wildly different, but I like it. And in fact, you can go in and do it yourself. You can go in and change everything bit by bit if you like. Eyes. Change the hue on the pupils. Maybe we'll do that. What colour eyes do we fancy having? Do you want to go for a purple eye? Go for a darker hazel eye size. Make our eyes a little bit bigger, a little bit more cartoonish perhaps. Eye spacing. Bring them together more, spread them out more. Not very nice. It's got this lovely kind of auburn hue. Lovely. I like that. Fantastic. And what about eyebrows? Want to do anything with eyebrows? I think we're okay, really. To be honest, I quite like where we're at with that. So now we just need to sort out our name, which crikey, what should we call ourselves? What's a good name for an adventurer? Let me postulate on this one for a moment. I'm thinking Cassandra. I don't know why, but it came into my mind. And I'm going to go with it. Now, look at our classes, okay? So we see our stats over on the left here. Vitality is our health. Attunement is related to the number of spells we can carry. Endurance is our stamina and our equip load. Strength is going to let us equip heavier, sort of bulkier weapons and armor. Dexterity is going to improve our skill with fancy weapons like rapiers and scimitars and such. The sort of more snazzy, stylish bits and bobs. Resistance is not particularly useful, so that's all I'll say on that one. It's generally considered a bit of a pointless stat. It ups your general resistance, but leveling up also increases your overall resistance to damage, so it's not particularly helpful. Intelligence is for sorceries, and we'll talk about those in a bit. And faith is for miracles. So there's multiple types of magic, and I say we'll get into those sort of as they come up, I suppose. Don't want to jump ahead of ourselves too far because we're playing this with fresh eyes. So we've got the warrior here. High strength and dexterity. Sounds okay. High HP, solid armor, not easily toppled. Quite nice. It's quite a good starting setup. Aimless wanderer, wields scimitar, high dexterity. So that's going to be a bit more of a fancy playstyle. The thief, guilt-ridden thief, high critical hits, has master key. Okay. And the bandit, high strength with a heavy battle axe. Look at that. Crikey. I thought that was our hair for a second, but it is just some kind of head wrap to presumably protect you. We get this sweet Spider-Man shield. Pretty hot. I'm into that. Lots of strength. Decent vitality and endurance. It's actually quite a nice mix, really. The hunter. Bow-wielding hunter. Okay at close range, but weak with magic. Sorcerer of Vinheim Dragon School. Casts soul sorceries. Pyromancer casts fire spells and wields a hand axe. The cleric wields a mace. Casts healing miracles. And the deprived. Just in your underwear with a club and a shield. Okay. You know what? I kind of fancy that bandit with the snazzy shield. I never used this one before, but let's give it a try. And gift. We can take no gift. I mean, that seems a bit foolish. The goddess's blessing. A divine holy water that fully restores HP and status. Well, that sounds nice, but I mean, if we're only going to have it once, it's not really going to help us all that much. Black fire bomb. More deadly than an STD bomb. Which I presume means standard bomb. But yes. There are normal non-black fire bombs. So black fire bombs are a little bit stronger. Twin humanities. That'll give us 2 humanity, I suppose. And not necessarily... Again, this is another item we can find. Binoculars used to peer at faraway sights. That's kind of fun. Nice little travelling tool, but not necessarily especially handy. Also something we can find fairly early on without trying to spoil too much. Pendant, trinket, no effect, but fond memories comfort travellers. Miyazaki's choice, the designer, the sort of head of the Dark Souls design team. His favourite. You know, you can look at that at the end of your journey and say, hey, remember when I was here? Remember when I had nothing but this pendant and my hopes and dreams? A master key opens any basic lock. Initial equip for thief. So if you're a thief class, you already have this. We're a bandit, which is a bit like a thief. So maybe we should take one anyway. Tiny being's ring. This. One of the... There's actually... I might talk about it as we go on, but the translation in this game is very good. They have a good localization team that is able to bring a lot of the personality and the humor and things like that. They're able to translate it, because translating stuff that was written in Japanese and having it keep context is difficult, and especially in a game where they're intentionally vague about things. But this one item here is wrong. It's a poor translation. It gives you a buff to your HP. It doesn't recover your HP. And the old witch's ring, an ancient ring with no obvious effect, a gift from a witch. Well, I quite like the sound of this master key, to be honest. Give ourselves every advantage. And there we have it. Let's take Cassandra on the road. Okay, you ready? Strap in, because it's time to start Dark Souls.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone skins. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark sign. Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
Well, here we are in the Northern Undead Asylum, and crikey, that was a lot to take in. And well, you'd already noticed we're not looking too well, but let's have a little recap of what happened there. So we had, oh gosh, look at that, no eyes, or disgusting. Anyway. So oftentimes I feel like a lot of people come into Dark Souls knowing, oh, it's the hard game, it's the one where you die and you lose all your progress and all that, and it can be easy to kind of want to just jump straight in and miss that initial story. But there's really quite a lot there that we saw. So there were the Age of Dragons, and then the four mentioned people collected the 4 souls of lords, and they were able to take down the dragons with the help of Seath the Scaleless, one of the dragons who betrayed his friends, and presumably as he had no scales, he felt maybe he was a bit of an outcast or something. We could perhaps infer from that. But a lovely friendly knight up on the roof has thrown us down this corpse, and on it a dungeon cell key. So we've been locked in this undead asylum because we were branded with the sign of the undead. So let's take a look at what we've got on. In fact, take everything off. Be a bit naked for a moment. Just for a moment. So you see here, got this lovely weird scarring. We've got this weird sort of warped bits and bobs coming off on our chest here. And this is all kind of falling apart, really. So maybe it's best that we get a little bit dressed up. So in fact, let's start off by seeing what we've got. So we've got a few things in our inventory. We're going to really go through this fairly thoroughly. I won't do this for everything we get, but we've got this separation crystal. Crystal sends phantoms back to their homes, or sends you back to yours. It's kind of weird they give this to you here, but I guess it's granted to banished undead. So it means you can send people back to their planes of existence. And also we've got the dark sign, and this shows that we're an undead. So we're branded with it, and we're reborn after death, but we'll one day lose our mind and go hollow. So when we die in this game, it doesn't put us back to a checkpoint. We're not rewinding time. We're being resurrected. We're being reborn. But the constant cycle of dying and being reborn causes you to go mad, causes you to go hollow. So you see, there we go. Death triggers it, returns the bearer to the last bonfire, but at the cost of all humanity and souls. So there we are. We don't have too much else. We have this master key, tool of the trade for thieves. But in the cursed land of the undead, most doors are better left unopened. Interesting thought there. And the dungeon cell key. A mysterious knight, without saying a word, shoved a corpse down into the cell, and on its person was the key. Who was this knight? And what was his purpose? There may be no answers, but one must still forge ahead. Knight of Purpose, coming in 2016, of course. Hot new indie game. So, we've got our equipment here. We've got this straight sword hilt. Only slightly better than one's bare hands, and not recommended for extensive use. Be certain to find a replacement quickly. Right, well, we'll do that. We'll endeavour to find a replacement quickly. We've got this brigand gear. Protects us against the blazing sun and helps us tell friend from foe in the heat of battle. Now, we see our stats on the right. If I hit Y, we get to see equip load. And also, if I press select here, we can see what all these things are. Defense against the four different types. The regular, strike, slash, thrust. Defense against magic, fire, and lightning. Poise, the ability to receive attacks without breaking form. So this is, if you're hit, it will stagger you. We've got no poise, so we'll be very easily staggered. Bleed resist, poison resist, and curse resist. These are status effects that we'll run into as we go on. The durability and the weight of the item. Now you see on the right there we have our equip load at 2.2 if we equip this brigand hood. This will take us up to 5.3. The gauntlets to 7.1. And the trousers to 8.9. Now as long as we stay under 50%, we'll have a mid-speed roll. Any more than that, we'll have a fast roll. So that would be at 27. And half of that again, which would be 13.5, if my maths is correct. So as long as we stay under 13.5 weight, we'll be able to roll around quickly. So let's get on with it. We open our key, we use our key, and we're out the cell. So thanks to that knight. You'll see here, these poor souls haven't been so lucky, and we don't seem to have the key for their cell. Right stick, camera controls, good to know. In fact, let's just hop into the menu. You can have a quick look at my settings. The one thing I do change here, camera auto wall recovery. This isn't important now, but sometimes you'll be walking on quite thin platforms. This will bump if you have this on, it bumps the camera back and forth as you walk through tight spaces to try and, so that you're not clipping, the camera's not clipping through the wall, but it will actually can cause you to like walk off in the wrong direction and fall off things. So I turn it off. We're going to leave blood on because we're hardcore. And let's progress on. Another lost soul. Attack. Right bumper. Have at you, sir. I hear an ominous sort of stomping. And this poor soul appears to be a little bit worse for wear. No doubt the cause is this chap in here. This big old demon. Well, we'd rather not tangle with him. I suppose he's one of the guards of this undead asylum. Strong attack. Right trigger. I'm using the Xbox 360 controller. Oh! And you see there, we got that big animation. That's a backstab. Because we were right behind them. And you have to be right behind them, and you can't be blocking. And your light attack will do that backstab. So we're going to dash up here by holding down B. Right stick to lock on. This poor chap in the water. He doesn't know what's coming to him. But we're going to give him all of the beans. Thank you, sir. Claim his 20 souls for ourselves. We've got our back step by tapping B. We can roll around. If we run and then press B, we can jump into a roll. And let's climb this ladder. See what's up there? Fairly small little area. It's going to bring us out into a courtyard. Rest at bonfire, recover HP. So, here's our first proper bonfire. You see it's like a fire poker sticking into... for a long time I thought this was a sword. But it was pointed out to me that it's a fire poker. And it's sticking into some bones. The bones of undead, which are burned to... I suppose to fire up the bonfire with humanity. And our only option at the moment is to leave, so let's do so. But that will sort of checkpoint us up. Not much in this courtyard so far. There is a door over here. But I fear we won't be able to get out that way. I still hear a lot of stomping around. I wonder if that's that demon underground. Got a little window up there. And, ooh. Hello, sir. Looks like there's a man up high as well. Another one of those demons. Ooh. Well, we'll have to be very cautious. I don't think we want to tangle with him with this, rather rubbish sort of fraction of a sword we're holding. But, I fear that may be our only option. Oh, he's in here. Okay, well, there's a door at the far end, but I don't hold much hope out for that one. There's also a little door in the side, but that appears to be closed too. So, it's opening.
Round
Uh-oh.
five.
But the big daddy's down. The asylum demon. We made a quick escape. And probably for the best. Okay. Well, it's not dilly-dally. Let's light this new bonfire. We can rest. You'll see this big swoosh of light. And we can progress onwards. What does this say? Get your shield. Ooh, there's a man. There's an archer. Roll in here. Okay, arms icon. Change equipment. And we get the spider shield, remember? We saw that in our starting equipment. They don't actually, they kind of lie to you. It's not your starting equipment so much as what you find in this area. But we do get this spider shield. Let's take a look at it. Shield of the Savage Mountain Bandits. Uniquely shaped with a large black spider. Resistant to poison. Okay, so we can have a look at it and you can see it blocks 100% of physical damage. That's actually quite important. A lot of shields don't do that. But this will block all physical damage. And it will block 30% of magic damage, 72 of fire, 48 of lightning. And it's got 56 stability, which stability I think we can take a look. So you push back on the D-pad to do this. It doesn't actually tell you in a lot. See here it doesn't tell you along the bottom because there's too many other buttons. But you can always do this. You can always do this to have a look. The higher this value, the less stamina consumed when taking attacks. So when we block, this determines how much stamina the block will use up. And when we run out of stamina, our blocking will do nothing. It will break our guard. Critical. Well, we're not going to be able to do critical attacks with this thing, but we can hit people with it for 62 damage, which isn't bad, really. And here we see scaling. The degree with which attack is boosted by strength on the left, dex, intelligence, and faith. And here the same, how much is required. So we need 10 strength to use this shield. So good to know, and it weighs 3. Alright, well now we've got it. Haha! You see that? That initial hit did a little blip on our stamina. So, got something else up here for us. Another treat. The battle axe. Okay. Let's whip this one on. Get rid of this straight sword hilt. Inflicts regular damage, making it effective in various situations. Powerful attack due to its weight, but one wrong swing leaves the wielder wide open. So if we compare this, 20 attack, 95 plus 12. You see here, this has the scaling, the param bonus of E and E. Whereas on here, C and D. So the higher that, or the more towards A that goes, the better it's going to be for us. So C scaling with strength and D with intelligence. So you see the plus 12 on physical. That plus 12 comes from our 14 strength and our 9 dexterity. Oh, this fella's come out and he's shot us. I'm not standing for that, sir. Please. Okay, change weapons, toggle items. So you saw there we could equip 2 things in our hands and we can kind of switch between them like so. We can't switch items because we don't have any at the moment. But you'll see it flash when I push down on the D-pad. Righto. Well, let's not delay. Let's get through this door and see what's on the other side. A knight. A mysterious knight. And I think we'll have to meet up with him. But we'll do it on the next episode. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you're looking forward to the series, be sure to bop that like button and subscribe to the channel, or just pop back whenever. These will be coming up fairly quickly. I've been Ken. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers!